Too much detail. You're giving away our tricks.
Shit, sorry.
Giving away our tricks.
It's like, oh, you don't understand. It's love. The whole thing, it's love.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Don't let me leave, Murph. He's the ghost. That's the whole thing.
You don't like CGI.
I will.
That's mine. I picked that. Ninja Turtles, yes.
I get goosebumps talking about it. It's
Every word.
Oh, God.
Destroying the video still.
Sorry.
Evangelized about it. Right. This suit fucking sucks.
Can you swear on your show? I apologize.
This might be giving away something. What are they actually eating?
Stop.
Okay.
K-pop demon hunter. Oh, yeah. Girl.
This is where we met.
all right. I mean, humble brag.
Hi, Anne and Matt. Welcome to our little video club. You're part of the cast of The Odyssey that has already worked with Christopher Nolan. How this experience was different from the previous experience that you have with this director?
For me, it was just more. So his process is very similar to when I met him. We didn't work together until we were in our 40s, so he was very established, and the way his approach to work was pretty much the same. He's an amazing director of actors, incredibly collaborative, and it's always a very new experience, whatever you're doing with him. When I first was on Interstellar with Annie, we were on a glacier in Iceland.
Dr. Mann, tell us about your world.
You know, the experience is always really wild, but this one was almost like making 6 different movies in one, and so I think it did come at the right time in his career because he had done all these other types of films, and now he got to do them all together.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
So I was in my 20s when I worked with Chris for the first time, and I'm now in my 40s. And so Chris has remained remarkably consistent. I think that I have evolved a lot since then. And one of the things that has evolved for me is my love of cinema has deepened so much. And so I was just really happy being on set because I felt like I'd just seen more movies, and not like I could talk and keep up with everybody, but just I had, I don't know, just a wider understanding of the shared history of what it is that we love. And so that felt really special, but the things that were consistent were some of the best dialogue I've ever gotten to see, the kind of commitment to, this is gonna sound strange, but the dignity of filmmaking. You know, filmmaking is not something that is last minute. It's not something that is slapdash. Or accidental, especially not when you're working with Chris Nolan. His approach, his technique, his methodology is so considered. And I loved that. And the kind of same thing as what happened before, which is I thought I knew the movie I was making, and then I saw the movie and realized that I had no idea that I was in something that brilliant. I don't know, it blew my mind. All three types.
And talking about love of cinema and craft work, I've put out some DVDs in this little video club. You can pick anything you like.
So, well, I just, great choices, by the way.
Wow.
So we screened this during the film.
Yes.
Tom Rothman at Sony, where we were shooting, has a pristine 70mm print of Lawrence, and Tom Holland arranged for all of us to go look at it, which was a perfect movie to screen while we were making The Odyssey, because it often felt like we were making a David Lean movie. Every day was like a pinch me moment. I was sitting there going, this is what it would have been 80 years ago making a film. Chris does everything in camera, everything practically, with the exception of the fact that we were shooting in IMAX, which had never been done before. And so knowing that we were pushing the form a little bit, and what it required for everybody, so many experienced, incredible crew members and technicians, and they all share this love of cinema. They all knew that we were the first ones to try to do this. And so this is obviously one of the great films of all time. The size and the scale of it is still just, and to see it projected was a real highlight of the experience for me.
The size and the scale, but then also that none of the intimacy was lost with the characters. My mind was completely blown when I saw this movie. I'd actually never seen it. And then, so this was a spectacular way to see it. As Matt mentioned, Tom arranged for us to kind of see it on a Sunday. So like many members of the cast that were there, we all kind of like came in on a Sunday to watch it. But the thing that stays with me, of course, is, you know, how beautiful it is. The single moment in it, it's a moment of Peter O'Toole's performance when he's just kind of walked across the desert and lost many people along the way, and he's bringing a young boy that's helped him into the officers' club, where I don't think either of them are really allowed to be, and he orders them a lemonade.
We want 2 large glasses of lemonade.
It's this thing he did in this performance where someone tries to give him the drink and not the young boy, and he goes, "It's for him."
It's for him.
And the way he holds that moment, I just get chills thinking about it. He's so on the edge of breaking, and it was clearly so important to him, and it was so emotionally transparent, but still respecting all of the circumstances. It just leveled me. I just burst into tears when I saw it, and it's making me emotional thinking about it. But then again, I am.
That is a good comp though, because Lean does scale, but also intimacy really well, and I think that's something that he shares in common with Chris. That's something that Chris is known for.
And Omar Sharif's entrance.
Well, here I'm thinking about the shot, the low angle coming across as he's wandering across the desert and the sun comes up, and the way they timed that. They timed the rising sun to the. I mean, it's just incredible.
I want to mention this one. This is where we met.
All right. I mean, humble brag.
Dr. Mann, listen to me.
This is not about my life or Cooper's life. This is about all mankind.
I wouldn't have to go deeply into it. I just wanted to say,
hey,
what's
yeah.
up?
Yeah, life on a glacier. I will never forget it. I also remember the wind was so high one day the safety team had to take us off the glacier because it wasn't safe to shoot. And so the crew thought, well, okay, we'll get the day off. But Chris, who never wants to lose momentum, we went to the parking lot of the little motel where we were staying, which was by the side of the road, and they spray painted the ground white. And Matthew and I put on our spacesuits and wrestled, and we shot close-ups with a wind machine. It was a snow machine, because the wind was provided by nature. Yeah, it was another unique experience with Chris.
Do you remember the spacesuits and how heavy they were?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There was this one day, and I just had this feeling like this spacesuit is really hard to wear, but I can't be the first person to break. And the spacesuit just sat right here, and it was just hours, and we were just kind of doing this shot where we had to walk up a glacier for hours and hours and hours. And then finally, I was so grateful to you. 4 hours in, you just pitched forward and you just went, "This suit fucking sucks." And I was like, okay, thank God Matt said it, so now I can say it. Now we can talk about it.
It was heavy, definitely.
But it turned out it was just really good training for this. It was nothing to what you're going to do for this.
Yeah, it was a warm-up. All right, what else do we have in here? There's so many. I mean, this, we should say, just because it's Chris and because it's where he first used IMAX technology in The Dark Knight, in the opening sequence with Heath, with the Joker. Was the first time I think he did that for that sequence, and I don't think anyone will ever forget that opening sequence. Pretty amazing.
I love the way you describe what it's like to act in front of an IMAX camera that doesn't have the blimp over it, and you're like, it's like acting in front of a blender.
Yeah.
Because this was the first time on Dark Knight Rises that I worked with Chris. It was my first time shooting on IMAX, and I remember
it's shocking.
My first stunt sequence and just being like, okay, it was just so much because I was going to be flipping over a table, and they said, okay, Annie, it's going to be loud. I'm like, okay, and then then they turned it on, and it was like nothing I could have imagined.
Oh
it was
my
crazy.
God. Yeah, no, it is technically shocking the first time you work with it. Oh, we got Ran.
Yeah, I read that it was an inspiration for Chris Nolan.
Yeah, I'm sure, and the scale of it, and the fact that much like this movie, if you see 1,000 people going into battle, there really are 1,000 people there. And there was a story that I heard about this. This came out when I was 16 or 17, and I read a story about it that said that they asked Kurosawa how he had framed this one shot, why he had done it, exactly, with this battle with these people coming, and he said it was something like, well, because there was a market on that side and there was a restaurant on the other side. And I always love that, because there is this practical side to filmmaking, right? There's a magic to it, but a lot of the decisions you make, pretty much all the decisions you make are practical decisions. And that's how sometimes you get the most incredible things, just solving problems as simply as they can be solved.
I should follow up when I was talking about movie making not being an accidental thing. Sometimes it is, but I think what I was getting at was you prepare within an inch of your life,
right,
and then you accept the conditions as they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes spray paint a parking lot.
How do you prepare to act like in 3 minutes? Because you have to change every 3 minutes.
That's a great question. That was another huge technical challenge, and one of the things, look, that was one of the challenges put to the acting department, right? Any scene that goes longer than 2.5 or 3 minutes, the camera has to reload because the IMAX film goes through the camera that fast, and that was kind of, everyone had a challenge put to them, and that was one of ours. And we would, particularly for our final scenes in the movie, we would begin the scene, and then the camera would roll out, freeze, we would pause and just maintain that energy, and the team would reload as fast as they could. Keith and Ryan and Emily, like they were like a pit crew, like a Formula One team. But it still would take a couple minutes, and then we would go back a few lines and then resume the scene and then roll out and then do that again. And so we'd go through 3 rolls of film usually for like 1 take, and then Chris would say, okay, and then he'd give us some adjustments, and we'd go back and we'd do the whole thing again. So each take would take about a half an hour. It was more painstaking, but to be able to shoot intimate scenes with the detail of that format was what we were all there for. So.
I just noticed you have a wonderful movie here, Avatar, and I was just thinking about just technical challenges.
Oh, I was thinking about all the movies that I've passed on that I've...
That's just seeing a wall of oops.
Yeah. No, that, yeah.
Really still on your mind?
No. It's not. No, it's not. No. Honestly, what I knew it was going to be my one chance to work with Jim Cameron, and I couldn't do it because I had a scheduling conflict, and that stays with me because he's brilliant, and I love his work, and he doesn't work a lot. And now he's been in this world for almost 20 years, but everything happens for a reason, and you have Avatar, and then right behind Annie is Primal Fear, which is a different story, which is a movie that I auditioned for and didn't get, tried to get, and didn't win the part. So yeah, there's a lot of personal connection to these, even the ones I'm not in.
I did not turn down Avatar.
Smart.
But it's true, and Matt's absolutely right. Like sometimes you look at the ones, but I also think you have to go, there's just something bigger than this. You just go, It just wasn't for me. But what I was going to say about Avatar was, the second one, Way of Water, it kind of very famous for how the actors had to learn to hold their breath for really, really, really long stretches of time. And so my feeling about like what it was like to work with the IMAX camera and have 3-minute mags, it was kind of like that. You just had to learn a different breathing technique. You had to learn a different way of focusing. And again, this goes into one of the things that's so wonderful about working with Chris. You're not really surprised on the day. You've been given a lot of fair warning. And then you can use the time that you have in prep to prep. So you just sort of get used to it, and you just condition yourself. You condition your mind, you condition your body, and you get there and you just pray that you have the kind of crew that'll hold you. And we're really lucky that we did. Did
it help you to really fit into your characters because of Odysseus and Penelope? Because there's this sense of urgency in their journey, in their destiny.
Well, having to wait between reloads definitely helped with my character. Just
the patience.
Waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it was for me more, and I talked to Tom Holland about this, the sound of the camera is a reminder that motor is ripping that 15 per film through the past the shutter, and I had to just try to make sure my producer's head never came anywhere near, because I would go too fast to try to save the film. Yeah, it was really about trying to just let that go and just accept it as a white noise that I had to live with, and stay focused on what I was doing.
No one could stand between my men and home.
I loved the IMAX with a blimp around it. It kind of became this like big friendly giant.
Yeah.
And then you could hear a tiny little bit of the film, so it was like a cat purring.
People would say that, yeah, it wasn't the blimp hard, but the blimp was much easier to work with because it felt much more like a regular film set. There was just this giant, SUV that you were instead of a camera, but it was quiet. And so those intimate scenes felt like they would if we were shooting on Super 65.
I feel like I anthropomorphized the blimp.
You turned it into a friendly,
gigantic, friendly creature.
The Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We just have to say Marianne.
She's, yeah.
And just one of the most daring, astonishing, transparent, inventive, creative performances.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Just so inspired.
Amazing.
I love this one because it was not entirely shot on IMAX.
You fellers must be the owners of this establishment.
That's right. And you are?
Name's Remick. This here's Joan and Bert.
But a lot of it.
And I know that Ryan and Chris are friends, and they had a lot of conversations about that.
And it's great to see a great younger director picking up the mantle and
make an amazing movie. This sequence where the music kind of builds on top of each other and layers into it.
Yeah, everything, the performances, it's a brilliant movie.
I ran to the theaters the first weekend that came out because I really wanted to see it on the big screen. And I didn't even know what I was going to see. Like, I kind of knew a little bit about it, and I just remember when that sequence started, that feeling of awe, of like, I'm watching something I've never seen before in a packed theater, and no one's ever seen this before because it's never been done before.
And yet it felt like a classic. Like, it felt there was something, it's nostalgic and new. And it was absolutely brilliant. Jordan's movie, Get Out, obviously great.
Get out. Sorry, man. Okay. Get out! Yo! Yo, shoot it. Get out! Shoot!
I think it was so brilliant because he directed thousands of sketches. I've never talked to him or met him, but I'm a big fan because those sketches are always, they're very funny, they're brilliant, but you can see that this is like, what a great school, right? To like, how else do you explain a movie that great, kind of coming out of the blue? Yeah, fantastic.
Can we?
Sure, yeah.
I saw it 3 or 4 or 5 times in the theaters.
Your brothers were killed in combat.
I just remember the summer it came out, I just kept going back to the movies. And I watched it so many times.
There's so many similarities to working with Spielberg and Chris. The scale, that they work at, their imagination. But I had a really interesting conversation with Emily Blunt, because she just worked with Steven, and we were talking about Chris and Steven, and she said something I thought was really insightful, which was like, the difference between them, I think, is that Steven designs sequences and Chris discovers them. And there's this thing that Chris does, which he somehow understands how to gather all the elements he's going to need to work at this scale, but he's not prescriptive about how they're deployed. He has them all, and then he really lets the performances dictate what the camera is going to do. So he'll have all of these elements, like we'd be on a boat, and I'd be with Himesh Patel, and he'd say, "Okay, well let's run it. Let's see how this might go." And we'd rehearse the scene. And then he and Hoyte would immediately, it's like shooting an independent film. He's like, okay, I think we're here. Okay, and they pick the lens, they pick the, okay, we're here. And then suddenly the Marine coordinator, Neil, is like, get the boats. And suddenly these boats, actual boats, sailboats, come drifting into the background of a shot that has just been invented. And all of these, and so it happens around you. So the urgency that you were talking about, that's kind of what it is this thing kind of comes to life. And he doesn't slow down, so even if all the elements aren't in place, he'll do a take, right? So for the first take might not be, but by the second take, his team is so good and they're so focused. All of the energy is around the camera and what's happening around the camera, and every department understands exactly what they have to do to make the painting that he wants to make, except it's completely discovered, which is, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's really a very unique process. And Steven has this, if you look at the blocking, the staging of Steven's films are just so extraordinary. The coordination of the actors blocking that feels completely natural, and the camera movement where he's creating multiple frames in one take that are paintings in their own right. And so it's more designed in the sense, but Steven, even when we were doing Saving Private Ryan, said, I didn't storyboard any of this. He said, and I don't even think of it when I go home. He said, my challenge for myself on this movie is because my family's at home and I want to spend time with them. So I think about it on the way to work, which is 1 hour car ride, and on the way home, which is a 1 hour car ride. And then I let it go and walk in the door, and I'm a dad and a husband. And so they're you know, obviously two of the great filmmakers to ever do it, but a slight little difference.
Because you worked with Chris in all of the locations. I was mainly in Ithaca, which was shot in Sicily and Los Angeles, and they built the Megaron, which was on stage 23, which is a soundstage on the Sony lot, which is really amazing and connected to like a lot of movie lore. A lot of incredible movies have been filmed there because I think it might be the largest soundstage in America. So they built up the interior of a palace. Ruth de Jong, our production designer, talk about a magician.
Yeah, amazing.
But because we had so much room, we were in a palace, you know, the furniture was kind of moved in and out as it would be in the story. I got to, I don't know, just watch Chris with a dolly. Ryan, our dolly operator, was amazing. And Chris would kind of do this thing where he would stand next to Ryan and he would just kind of be watching it and he would kind of almost conduct how he wanted the camera to move, and every once in a while just go. And I just remember watching him, and it reminded me of like watching a conductor conduct a symphony.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful, and I couldn't believe that in this movie that, like, you're saying producer brain, you're just like, I know what the budget is. I know how big this is. I know what all the logistical challenges are. But I'm like, my God, he's used his brain to build the thing, but he's leading with his heart right now.
That's such a good point, because he feels it.
Yeah.
And so you see him, he's got his clamshell, right, which is just for him to check the framing. But he's watching the performances with his naked eye. And so if the dolly's kind of going this way, he's watching, and then he just goes like that to Ryan. And Ryan's watching him, and they, you know, it really is like conducting an orchestra. And he'll refer to the frame really quickly, but he really wants to see it with his naked eye. And so he's referring, and then it's just slow down a little bit, you know. And so it's a really, right, head in the heart. Yeah.
I do have one Saving Private Ryan question. Do you remember the take when Tom Hanks said, "Earn this"?
James. Earn this.
Yeah, of course. I'll never forget
like,
that.
I'm sure that shooting the whole thing, but that single take, because, you know, unless it was a one and done, I was just like, wow, he must have stayed there for so long. But that performance that Tom gives in this one, that moment, the "earn this," it just has so much going on in it. And he's dying, but he's fighting to live, and he's seen so much, and he's giving you a gift, but he's also charging you with something.
Yeah.
It's
and we shot in
like
order too, so that was the last thing we shot.
Was it?
Yeah. That was so we ended on him, and I was his eye line, standing right next to the camera, looking at him, and while he did it, he was just amazing, and such a great example for all the young actors that were there. You know, he was the biggest movie star on the planet. You know, and just the most professional, kind, hardworking person, and really set a tone for the rest of our careers.
I feel like you're describing someone else that I've just had the pleasure of working with on The Odyssey, who was our #1.
Well, I'm older than he was in that movie. I should have learned something.
That explains it. Yeah. Okay, just because we're running out of time, lightning round, I'm just going to point. If I don't point to it, doesn't mean I don't love it. It just means I haven't seen it. One of the all-time greatest movies ever made.
What's up, Daddy?
What the hell is that?
A dress.
Says who?
Calvin Klein.
It looks like underwear.
Genius performance. The movie is such joy. It's so all the choices work together. It's so beautiful. It's like a symphony of a film. Love it. I also just you remember that feeling of like, oh, I know what movie I'm watching, and then something happens, and you're like,
brilliant.
I have no idea where I am.
An absolute masterpiece.
And I'm not moving. This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Vinny! Hey, Vinny! Vinny Bag of Donuts, how are you? This is Vinny.
And it's one of those perfect movies. Marissa Tomei gives this performance, and when she gets on the stand in that final run of the film, I was with some friends recently, and we just come home from a night out, and we were all getting ready to, go to bed. And it was on, and without saying anything, we all just sat down, and we had to watch. You can't actually look away from her performance.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Just amazing. Oh my gosh.
Hvad får I?
Sazerac. 5 centiliter bourbon, 1 centiliter absint.
Have you seen this movie?
I haven't seen this movie.
It's called Another Round in English. Like, Mads Mikkelsen in it is so deep. I think you'll love this movie.
Thank you. I'm leaving with a recommendation. I appreciate that.
And he does this. I actually can't tell you, but something he does at the end, your jaw will be on the floor.
Okay. Good.
Thank you so much for your time, and again, congratulations for the Odyssey. Thank you so much. First, how is it working with the Chris Nolan, and especially in this format, shooting in an IMAX?
It's okay.
It's right. It's incredible. It's bananas.
I really think I can say this with true confidence. There's not an actor alive that would not want to be in a Chris Nolan movie. Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite one of Chris?
Oh,
that's hard because I love all of them. But Memento is special to me because my friend costume designed that film.
So next time you see me, will you remember me?
And we lived together during that time. And Chris and his brother would come to the house and have meetings with her there about costumes, and they had no money. And so a lot of what Carrie-Anne Moss wears in that movie came from my closet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is Interstellar. I remember going to the movies when I was 17 to see it. It was just one of those like brain-breaking kind of moments for me as a teenager where I was like, oh, I love movies. I was just blown away by it, and I still am. I think every time I put it on, I cry. I like argue about the science of it with people. It's like, oh, you don't understand. It's love. The whole thing, it's love. That's why they're, don't let me leave Murph. He's the ghost. That's the whole thing. I just can go on and on about it.
I'd say Inception. That movie, I remember it like a mirage. I remember how it made me feel. I remember really questioning my understanding of time. You know how sometimes you watch a film and it affects you, but what you're left with is how it made you feel. And I can't really tell you what it was about.
That's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
Right.
Yeah.
And it just shows you the power of film. There's the story and then there's the feelings that it leaves you with.
Like a fever dream, that movie.
Yes, exactly.
That's mine. I picked that. Ninja Turtles, yes.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, Leo, I'm crazy, okay? A loony, okay?
Because I grew up in South Africa, and my first film experience for many years was drive-in theaters. That was the only way you could see movies. Not on television. We barely had television. And so it was a real bonding thing for me and my mom to get in the car. You couldn't see what was playing either. So you would just drive, and whatever was playing, that's what you watched. Sometimes it was inappropriate. And my mom was like, we're not driving back. I'll talk to you about this. Yeah. Our first theater close to where I grew up was built when I was around 12, 13. And that was the first movie they played. And I was there for it. And so I have like a weird love for that movie because it reminds me of sitting in a theater for the first time, and I'll never forget that feeling.
Oh man. Same for me. We had drive-ins as well.
Yeah?
And I watched Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Yeah, Police Story. I love Jackie Chan. He's
Those fight sequences.
I mean, there's none like him.
Amazing.
He's such a great performer, and I just learned that he trained in the circus for many years.
That makes total sense now.
Yes, that's where he got his training.
Wow.
And so he just has this physicality that is just, his timing is incredible.
Storyteller with his body.
Yes, absolutely.
And I always love how he incorporates whatever is around in the fight.
Yep.
In
That's
such
Hong Kong,
a
that's
thoughtful,
Hong Kong style.
Yes,
Yeah.
in
Hong
that
Kong
such
style.
a thoughtful way.
Yeah.
And it's so,
Yeah.
that's a great choice. It's funny, because that would be this one for me. I remember going to the movies with my parents, which maybe a
Man
little
on Fire.
too young to have seen it, but I
Really?
remember...
Isn't Dakota Fanning in it? If she can be in it, then you can be.
Well, I was her age.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that was my first time. I was like, oh, like kids can be in movies.
Oh,
Like,
you saw. Oh
I
my,
was
that's
like, whoa,
interesting.
what?
Yeah.
And she's brilliant in this. She's like 8.
I had the same feeling with the turtles.
Yes.
No.
I remember being a little scared.
Yeah.
Because it was like about kidnapping and stuff, so I was a little bit like stressed out about that. But
Right.
but I do remember seeing a little kid, and obviously Denzel. I mean,
Yeah.
goat.
it's
So
amazing.
yeah, I just remember watching her and being like, wow,
I want to
kid,
I want to do that.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's
That looks
amazing.
kind of scary,
that's
but
great.
kind of fun.
Yes.
You know, it kind of broke the
Yeah.
illusion a little bit.
Yeah.
I just do what they told me.
You do what they tell you to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say goodbye to her?
This is pretending happening, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Whatever
that was-
happens, Zendaya, it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Shout
Yes.
out
We're
Dakota
very,
Fanning.
very.
Dakota Fanning.
Thank you,
Let's go.
Dakota, because
You
of
know.
you. We have
Thank
this.
you so much, girl.
Yes.
Shout out.
I picked The Taste of Things.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because you guys asked for your favorite French movie. And I just...
Which one is it? Where is it?
It's right there. This
right
one
there,
actually, but not-
next to snow therapy.
Tu saurais me dire ce qu'il y a dedans?
Du blé de côte.
It's a really beautiful film of just cooking. It's just incredible. When you watch it, you're scared the actors are going to get gout because of what they're eating. But I just finished a movie playing a chef, and it was about the culinary world. And so I was trying to watch anything that I could.
Yeah.
And so I just recently discovered that movie, and it's, to me, those kind of movies are not being made anymore. There's barely any cuts in it. Literally, the first 20 minutes of the movie feels like there isn't one cut. It's just continuous, a camera floating, and they're actually cooking entire meals.
Wow.
It's just incredible. Hats off.
Mm-hmm. So French, actually.
It is.
So French.
It is. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the best eggs this morning. Probably ever had.
They love the butter.
They love, and they know what they're doing.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And the bread. Let's not talk
And
about
the bread.
This is by our treasure, Ousmane Sembène. I watched it when I was in college. It was the first time, it's in black and white, and it's about the Senegalese woman who emigrates to France, and she's supposed to be a governess, and then she ends up being relegated to just maid duties, and she's trying to adjust to life in France. At the time that I saw this, I hadn't really seen such an old African movie, you know? And so it just opened my mind to African cinema. You know, the Francophone Africa has a real deep history of cinema, and Ousmane Sembène is like the greatest. And this gorgeous.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
And talking about non-Hollywood films, you have a great example, like we were talking before, like Parasite or Drunk or Snow Therapy.
Yeah,
if you like.
it's funny because you said you picked that, and I'm so.
Which one? What?
Snow Therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Force Majeure. Force Majeure.
Should I take your ride?
I had no idea it was called Snow Therapy.
Here.
It's called
Snow Therapy here.
It's called Snow Therapy here?
Yeah.
That's really bizarre.
That's so fun.
Because it's called Force Majeure in English speaking.
Yeah.
I know. How weird. I just love this movie. I watched it, I didn't know what it was about. I mean, spoiler alert, but there is this moment when the avalanche comes down and everything changes. Like, I remember just it having just such a grave effect on me because that moment is a moment I think about a lot because I'm a coward and I would definitely be the one running.
Sorry to my family. All right.
Already, I'm saying sorry in advance. Like, I'm really sorry. I've done that with my friends, like run away from dogs and left them behind. It's just like, yo, man, it's instinct. And so,
survival.
It's survival. And so, but like at the time watching this movie, I really did feel the betrayal that the wife feels, you know, in that moment. And so it caused a lot of turmoil.
Unrest.
Unrest. And
Spiritual unrest.
we ended up talking about it for days. And that's when a movie is really good, when it's like, you know, it makes you really talk about things.
And that's what I love. I love when you leave, and I hope to make things that have characters like that. That are ultimately morally kind of corrupt or flawed or, you know, because when you leave, you can have those conversations. You'll be like, yeah, but what would you do for, like, be honest, what would you do?
Exactly.
You know? And those conversations.
But that movie's great because none of us can be honest.
Yes.
All of us would be like, no, of course I would like save my kids.
Yeah. And it explores a moment where you don't have time to be rational.
No.
You know, and that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah.
It's beyond this man, you know, that he goes through this.
Yeah. I just noticed, I don't really have anything to say about it, but I just think this movie, and now I can't find it. There it is. This is just a fucking excellent movie. That's all I have to say.
Very pretty. I'm not being funny. We can't stay here. We've got to stay here until he rings.
Well, what if he doesn't ring for 2 weeks?
Then we stay here for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks?
This is talking about movies that don't get made anymore. That is, and the writing is, and the dialogue is just chef's kiss.
Well, maybe I meant to see it.
Yes, you should watch it. It's really, really good.
Yeah. This is so fun.
Charlize, you picked as well Aliens. Like, it's your favorite one from the franchise?
Yeah, it's, I mean, I just, in general, I am Sigourney Weaver's stalker. There should be a restraining order against me. Every time I get a script and I read it, I say to myself, what would Ripley do? It's just one of those characters to me that has always stayed with me. I don't know, it's just rare when I started watching movies to see women do that, you know? And I love the movies that I grew up on, but they were very specific. The girls were always very specific in it. And that to me was the first time outside of Ninja Turtles that I saw something that I had never seen before that was specific to just being a woman, to being a girl. Wow. Yeah. And a lot of that influenced a lot of the action movies that I've made. I really love her. And like I ran into her one time and it was highly embarrassing. Like I was like literally following her. And I've been like consistently writing to the Academy that she should get, you know, a lifetime achievement or whatever that award is called. But the fact that she hasn't gotten it is, so just get with it, Academy. Give it to her and I will give her the award and it won't be weird.
I promise.
Yes.
I'm totally normal about this.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that these are my cousin Vinny, and I know that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Back to the Future. I know those are Tom's picks.
That's so great that you know that.
That's one of his favorite movies.
My biological clock is ticking.
And then we watched this. I remember we all watched this together on like the first Spider-Man movie. It was like
no
a movie
way.
night we all had.
Oh, that's so special. That's a good memory.
And also Marissa, because she's in the film. She's so brilliant.
She's so funny.
She's so good in that
Those
film.
cat suits that she wears, the
major.
flowers all over them, so good.
So yeah, just shout out to those. And then shout out to Denis, because this is one of my faves right here.
Which one?
Prisoners.
Tommy!
I remember I watched this when I was working with
So
Hugh Jackman on The Greatest Showman. And it's just one of those movies that I wish that I could watch again and like wipe my memory.
Yeah.
You know, and see again for the first time because it's just so like, it's gripping.
Special. Yeah.
And both of them are phenomenal. Make Hugh, that scene where he's like banging at the And then Jake, he does this thing, he does like incredible blink acting.
Oh, really?
In some movies, he doesn't blink at all. And then in this movie, he kind of has a bit of a...
He blinks a lot.
He blinks a lot. And it's very intentional. Yeah, a bit of a tick. I don't know. I was like, one day I'll...
Blink a lot in a
blink
movie.
act. You know what I mean? I'll give the kids... You know, something.
That's great.
But it's just such a little, you know, it's a thoughtful thing. And he does this, like, because in Nightcrawler, he doesn't blink at all.
Oh, whoa.
And then in this, he has this kind
now
of
I need to go and watch this.
Yes, we got to do a marathon.
Yeah, I need to see this. This is so interesting. It's so interesting.
So
this is a good movie. That's a really good movie.
What the hell are you doing back here, Mary?
I buried my mama yesterday, Stack. Figured I might see you and smoke there as much as she looked after you both. But I guess y'all love lasted as long as y'all could get something out of her.
You right. That's all she was. Food, won't be.
That's another one you talk about for a while, that movie.
This is also very good.
Yes.
Very good.
One of my other picks, just same here.
Is that your...
I rewatched Get Out, and then I rewatched your film, Us. And your monologue.
So good.
So good.
Thank you.
So I started I welled up, but I was also terrified.
Yeah.
And it was just, brilliant.
Oh,
but
thank you so much. But this film here, I don't usually watch trailers. I like to go into films blind, but I happened to watch this trailer on YouTube while we were working on Black Panther with Ryan and, of course, with Daniel. And I saw the trailer and I pulled out my calendar and put the release date on my calendar. I'd never done that before because something about it just was like, yes, I want to watch that. And then I went to see it while we were working on Black Panther, got out of the cinema, went to set, evangelized about it, got everyone together, dragged them to the cinema. We watched it again. Then we went to a bar and we had a 4-hour conversation about it. And then I went 4 more times.
Yeah,
I just anytime.
Love that.
I was in the cinema watching this. Oh, it was
when I tell you I was
good.
yelling at the screen.
Yes. and I watched it in Brooklyn.
People would have been sick of me, okay? Because you feel like, you know.
Yeah, and he makes it, the way Jordan works, and because I work with him, I know this for a fact, he really has the most talkative audience in mind. And he's catering to that. He wants you to have a conversation with the film.
Well, he puts you in the movie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He really does. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Where do we...
I want to know if Chris Nolan is going to come here and be like, what?
Listen.
That was my pick.
It's a great, it's a great movie.
I
just want to see his response to that.
Yes.
Because he loves the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh, he does?
He's obsessed with the... So I want to know what he's going to say about that.
That's a classic.
It is a classic, yes.
You don't think that we mesh well. I was like, why am I even listening to you to begin with?
You're a virgin who can't drive. Is my favorite line.
That's your go-to.
Yes.
Your quotable.
Yes, my quotable.
Also plays like the Avengers because you all three are in the MCU.
Oh, well, I can't say I'm in the MCU. Let's just be honest.
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
I'm a button at the end of Doctor Strange. I am not. Yes, yeah, I do not qualify. I'm gonna hand that throne to those two ladies.
I remember going to see those in the theaters because I mean it was such a cultural moment. It was so fun to watch everybody in the theaters like yelling, crying, like
yes.
It was so special.
It really was.
That scene of Tom, I don't want to go when he's like disintegrating.
Oh,
it's not Endgame. It's the one before.
Infinity War.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, so good.
I like that Lupita, you picked Luca. A beautiful animated.
Yes. I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Amazing.
It's so beautiful.
That's
yeah.
what I've
heard. I love it too.
It has such a beautiful message. I love the Silencio Bruno of it all.
So good.
Silencio Bruno. And it's like a way to silence the monster in your head.
Silencio Bruno. Louder.
Silencio Bruno!
Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno!
Silencio Bruno.
Can you still hear him?
Nope, just you.
Good. Now hang on.
I made a necklace for my sister that said Silencio Bruno. So I'm gonna try and help her with her imposter syndrome. It was amazing. We watched it together and we were both crying. It was so beautiful.
I love a lot of animated films, like a lot of Disney, Pixar.
I have two children. I don't have a choice.
So yes.
Yeah. It is, it's interesting once you have kids, you realize there really isn't enough out there for families. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you like how many weekends I'm like, I hope there's like a family movie that I can take my kids to.
Yeah.
So what happens is like I drop my kids off at school and then I go to like an 11 o'clock movie in the morning and I'll have a hot dog. I have no shame in that.
You don't want to take them to Man on Fire? Like my parents?
Listen, they've now they're at an age where like they're actually like shockingly I'm like I realize like they're watching this stuff whether I just can't control it. But I just love that my kids, especially my oldest daughter, still has like a real love for animation. She can also rewatch movies, like princess movies, or I love that about her. Like Disney, she does Disneyland for her birthday every year.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I don't ever want you to lose this.
Yeah.
And the little one's like, Love Island.
Listen.
She's not. No, she's not. No, she's not.
That's funny. No, I love an animated movie. Shrek is like one of my all-time faves.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
good.
So much fun.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Donkey.
Number one Shrek stan.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear you in the next Shrek.
I had to say yes. I'm sorry.
You were in the next Shrek. That's
Wait,
awesome.
really?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Because I was like,
Yeah, you can't say no to that. No,
that was a straight
like
yes.
Shrek and Chris Nolan.
Yeah,
you can't say no.
You know, it's
Up there.
Eddie Murphy. It's like,
Yeah, that's so good.
That was an immediate yes for me. But Coco is another one that gets me
Oh my goodness.
every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Coco is really.
Yeah.
Ugh, and that's like a real tearjerker. Like, I cried and snot came out of my nose.
Remember me.
Real stuff.
You know what I mean when you cry like that? Yeah, like that's how I cry.
Yeah. You know, I kind of slept on this train. K-pop Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Girl!
Hear our voice unwavering till our song defeats.
it was too much. Like
Yes.
everyone was talking about it. I was like,
Yeah.
it can't be that.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
took me like another 8 months or something, and then I was like, let me put this thing on. And then
my
I was
little
like,
niece.
whoa, this is so good.
Yeah.
My little niece called and she was like, get on it, auntie. Like, you need to she put me on.
My
and I
kids
was
started singing that song, and the pop song, yeah. So one morning, just driving to school, that started playing, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
We're going up, it's our moment.
And they were like, Mom, it's the same thing. Like I kept hearing about it, and then I was like, oh my God, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
That's the real deal. That's when the mass opinion is correct, you know? It's not always correct, but with K-pop demon hunters, yes.
Talking about music, I don't know which one of you picked up La Vie en Rose, La Môme.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Je vous connais, milord, vous ne m'avez jamais vu.
That was an Oscar well deserved.
I mean, this film.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yes, I think it was the first film with Marion Cotillard that I watched. Her transformation.
Yeah. That movie killed me because there was no room for me to even contemplate process. Oh, it's Mario and she's doing this. Like I didn't have time to do that because I was so locked in.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful performance because sometimes with transformations, you lose that authenticity when emotion comes in. And when she breaks, fuck me. Like, it is just incredible.
Yeah.
Can you swear on your show? I apologize. Okay, all right. She deserves that.
Yeah, she was mesmerizing, devastating. I mean, her performance was excellent. And I didn't know Edith Piaf either, so it was an introduction to two
I didn't know that much about her
artists.
either. Yeah, I knew very little about her.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite performances is Dog Day Afternoon, Al Pacino.
Very good.
Take the subway. We need the car. Stevie, the keys.
But also just Sidney Lumet. There's like
Dog Day Afternoon is called Après-midi
John Cazale
de
too.
Chien.
I got a poster. I got it signed by him.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Oh, wow. You go hard.
Yeah, I love it.
Flex there. Yeah.
I love that.
No, but there's so many Sidney Lumet movies that I love. There's Verdict and Network. And
Network's okay.
That's a little something.
Fucking that movie, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is a almost perfect movie, right? Yeah.
And The Wiz.
Oh.
Which I actually didn't know Sidney Lumet directed The Wiz until recently.
The Wiz.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's on down the road.
Oh. Well.
So, Range.
Yes.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Tom.
Hello. Hi there.
I wanted to talk about like some of your inspirations for the film, and I think it's really interesting to see the Odyssey after Tenet and then Oppenheimer, like the themes of the film, like the aftermath of war and the downside of civilization. I think it's really interesting to see your thoughts about the process of those films in your career, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it in that context, everything's going in a pretty apocalyptic direction in my film world. But I mean, no, I think that's the thing about Homer. I mean, you come to this great story. It's this foundational epic. And I kept finding my other films in there. I kept finding like Interstellar and Inception, this idea of Nostos, characters struggling to get home. It's all in there. There's such primal, fundamental things in Homer. And I think every generation can make it relevant to their time. And so that's my attempt with the adaptation. I just found so much in there that I care about, and trying to bring that to the screen and make it accessible for a modern audience. You just find a lot of things about family and about war and love and death, and these things are just timeless.
I read that you were like inspired by Ren or 2001, like they are behind you.
Yeah, well, 2001 to me always, a touchstone for everything.
Open the doors.
Dave, this conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
I saw that where it was re-released when I was a kid after Star Wars. Star Wars came out in 1977, and then they put this out in the wake of it. And my dad took me to see it at Leicester Square, in the old Odeon Theatre, Leicester Square, on 70mm. And it just blew my mind. It's a novel, but the novel's very different. It can't really be anything other than a movie. And it just takes you someplace completely different for a few hours.
I also love how it inspired Why am I blanking on his name? Who played Hannibal Lecter?
Hopkins.
Hal was his inspiration for Hannibal.
Oh, for the way he speaks.
And when you think about the way he plays that character, that like, hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
Yeah.
Like, it is so inspired by
Douglas
this.
Rain's voice there, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Amer. Everything is going extremely well.
That's very cool. And you guys screened Lawrence of Arabia. I wasn't able to be there. But
Yes.
Tom Rothman lent you his print while we were filming at Sony, I heard.
Yeah, we were shooting at the Sony lot on stage 23, which is a legendary stage in our business. Wizard of Oz, Interstellar, Batman, a few notable mentions. But Tom has, I think, the original print, I think it is.
Yeah.
Or it's a remastered print.
He's got a remastered. It was restored with the help of Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese in 1987, while Lean was still alive. And they added some things back in that had been cut out, because they used to, when the movies went to television or whatever, they would recut the film and shorten it, and after its initial run. And so they, with Kevin Brownlow, the great film restorer, they put it all back together in 87 and added a bit. And Lean was actually he came in and supervised the kind of final trim pass on it, which was tough for the restorers, because he was literally taking things out that they had put back in. But it's kind of the definitive version of the film. Spielberg told me he got to sit and watch it with Lean, talking to him the whole way through, like a director's commentary,
that's awesome.
like a live director's commentary.
A private director's commentary just for you is pretty special.
With David Lean, imagine. But what an incredible film.
It's an amazing film. There's moments when you watch this film that you'll have a similar feeling when you're watching The Odyssey, because you're watching this and you know that it's at a time where they don't have, CGI or computers to aid them in the process of making it. So you just believe that what you're seeing on screen is real. When you're seeing 1,000 camels and horses ride through a desert, you know that that's real. Yeah. And there's a similar, effect in our movie here, because you don't like CGI.
I like it for what it's good for. I like it to enhance what you shoot in camera. But actually, there's a scene in there, the attack on Aqaba, where they come from behind. And the guns
incredible, yeah.
So they built that town. And not unlike the way we built Troy for the end of the film. They went to an existing location. They built a lot of forced perspective structures.
Yeah.
There's a production designer called John Box, absolute genius. And so that's actually a set.
Wow.
Which, when you see the shot, it's one long tracky shot, just bring them all through this town. It's stunning. I mean, you can't believe that there's any trickery involved.
I loved in Troy how we'd have our set, and then on top of the mountain there was miniatures up on the mountain, and then in the distance was a town. And if you kind of came to the right, you would see the 3 different levels of the set combine, and then all of a sudden the set became miles long.
Too much detail. You're giving away our tricks.
Shit, sorry.
Giving away our tricks. It's all the old tricks, all the false perspective and things like that. Really, really fun way to make a film, because then, you can be there on set. The actors who are in that particular scene be there on set and really experience, build a world around them.
Super effective.
Yeah. The other one, we screened, I don't know if you've ever seen Kurosawa's Ran. But
I have not, no.
Voyager and I screened it for ourselves and for Ruth and Ellen, just for sort of inspiration. I hadn't seen it since it came out in the 80s. It's a very differently shot film, but it's a brilliant historical epic. It's a version of King Lear, but set in the medieval Japan. It was a huge inspiration for all of us, actually. It's funny, when you screen films in pre-production, it's not always for a specific reason. Sometimes it's just kind of, there might be something that tells you something, and some of them miss, and they're not it's not worth having done it, and some of them just connect in some way, and that was one that really, really connected. Also, I don't see it here, but we did Tarkovsky's Andreï Roublev. Which is, if you haven't seen that, that's a really beautiful film. Set in medieval times. And it's just a thing of a world being created with incredible textures. You just never question. When you see one of these films that's set in a period where you're not thinking about sets or
Right.
costumes or actors
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
real people. You're just there.
You're immersed in it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. Can I ask you, with Oppenheimer and shooting in IMAX, I can see how in a movie like Interstellar there are moments that are calling to you that need to be shot in that format.
Yeah.
And then in Oppenheimer there are moments where you do it in performance and it's super effective.
Yeah.
How far ahead are you making that decision? Or are there moments on the day where you've shot something and you go, do you know what, I'd actually love to shoot that in IMAX?
Yeah, we always, on every film since The Dark Knight, where we've done sequences, and usually it's the action sequences. So we've got, at the time, we had all 4 MSM IMAX cameras in the world.
Wow.
On set for 2 months, say. And then we had to send them back because other people needed to use them, documentary makers who were making films at the time or whatever. But we kept one camera always. We always had an IMAX camera. So if we were ever inspired, and Oppenheimer, this was happening all the time, we'd just say, okay, what if we just do this close-up?
Right.
You know, let's bring the camera in. We'd shoot it both ways. So we get a sound take. Or a
Okay.
few sound takes, you know, figure out the performance ahead of time. And so even like the opening with Cillian sitting there. addressing the room,
Yeah.
You know, we would shoot the first couple scenes, we'd shoot it on 5-perf, the quiet cameras. So we'd shoot it again, get the performance we wanted. And then Hoyte would bring in the IMAX camera and we'd do a couple takes on IMAX and use the sound from the other takes.
Wow.
So we've always kind of thrown it in where we can, if we feel inspired. Yeah, to answer your question, we have a plan, and then we also carry the camera all the time so we can go a little further than the plan.
Is there something to be said about the fact that there's only a limited amount of IMAX cameras?
There are more now.
I'm sure there are more
they built
now.
2 new ones for this film. So now there are 6 of the lightweight ones around the world. So there's enough for multiple productions.
But do you think that there are cameras that you used on The Dark Knight that we used on this movie? Like these like hidden characters that have gone through your career?
Oh no, they're all old friends.
That's so cool. No way.
And every
oh god,
destroying the video store.
Sorry.
Every now and again we would destroy an IMAX camera and it would be very heartbreaking. But they've always managed to build it back together. On The Dark Knight we crushed one between a truck and a car.
Wow.
It was on a crane arm. There wasn't a camera operator.
Right.
Smashed it, but they actually managed to fix it and save the film in it. And then on Dunkirk, we strapped one to the side of a crashing Spitfire, housed in an underwater housing, and we got their permission to do it. We called them over and said, we really want this shot. And they went, okay, sure. And Spitfire landed, but then the thing sank immediately, which no one was expecting. So it took a couple of hours to get the camera out. By then it was completely waterlogged.
In salt water?
No, fresh water.
Okay,
We were
that's
actually
better.
filming on an inland sea in Holland.
Right.
And we called the lab in LA and said, is there any way, because we need the shot, is there anything you could do with the film? And they said, yeah, you fill the film cans with water, keep it sealed, send it to us in water. They then take it, put it through the bath, processed it, and the shot is in the film. Try doing that with a digital camera.
Wow, that must have been a pretty big box.
With a courier. No, you just fill a little bit of dampness in the cans, just a bit of water. You just fill up the can.
That is very cool.
Old school.
Yeah, I
old
like
tricks
that a
that
lot.
knew from back in the day. While you're giving away tricks, I wanted to ask you about the impossible. Because AJ Bayona, I've met him a couple of times, and the last time I met him was before it's in the film, and he said, when you see it, he says, it's not CG, it's not, we did all these things, with the water and everything.
Lucas!
But he wouldn't tell me how he did it.
Okay.
And I didn't see the film, and I saw the
that's
film,
funny.
and I was pretty baffled, and I haven't run into him since to say, all right, was that tank work?
Yeah, it was a 6-week tank shoot. It's a 9-minute sequence.
Wow.
The tank is probably about 3 football field sizes, and there was a channel down the front side of it, and they would have these rails, and the rails, they would change daily. So, they would change the path of the rail, and then there was what we would call the teacup. That we would kind of squat in, and there would be a handle that you could hold on to because they had these water jets on either side that would kind of churn up the water.
Right.
But if you got caught by one, it would have actually blown you out of the teacup, and then you would have been in quite a lot of danger because under the water there was a pump here and a jet here and all sorts of different sets and stuff. So yeah, Naomi and I would be next to each other, essentially on a bit of a roller coaster, and it would cruise through the water, and we would be holding onto something underneath. So that if I had to go under, you would just kind of pull yourself under the water and then come back up. And they had tip tanks, and all of the rubble was soft and foam because they couldn't control it. And then we had an underwater tank, which for me, when I made that movie, it was like I went to a water park. every day. It was like the time of my life. And I remember we did this thing called a wrap, where I had my harness on, and Bayona really wanted to create the effect that I was ragdolling underwater because of the currents. And the way they did it is you have a harness on, they tie you off, and then you just wrap yourself up. You just keep wrapping yourself up in the wire and under your leg and over your shoulder. Then the stunt team would drag me underwater.
And spin you.
And then they would just pull the rope and you would just unravel. And it looks so good in the film.
That's awesome. See, he'll give away anything.
I'll tell you
Don't
anything
ask
you
him
want to know.
anything about the Odyssey. No one should know any of those secrets, but I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience.
Well, it's an incredible film. Have you seen that one?
Oh, of course I have, yeah.
I love that film. Man, on fire.
Such a good film.
Peter!
So good, very underrated.
And so satisfying.
Denzel's careers.
Tony Scott is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And Dakota is amazing in this film.
She's incredible. Very underrated film. It's like people who know kind of thing, but it's, really moving as well.
Well, that's funny that you'd say that that's underrated. In my world of cinema, that is a really celebrated film, but that's news to me.
Interesting. Well, that's coming around. I mean, sometimes it takes a while for films to come around. Yeah. Just caught my eye. Not particularly relevant to the Odyssey, other than kind of everything is relevant to the Odyssey.
Yeah. There's a coming home story in there
films.
for sure.
Yeah.
We've got Matt here, Saving Private Ryan.
Our orders are to bring you back.
Bring me back.
This is one of
Very
my
young man.
all-time favourites. I watch this at least once a year. And George Cottle is on the beach.
Yes.
He did this entire film.
George is our stunt coordinator and did the Odyssey. He's done a lot of films for me. He drove the Batmobile for me in all 3 films and did an incredible job on the Odyssey. And you guys first worked together on Spider-Man, right?
Yes, he did my first 3 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And we used to relish in the fact that he drove the Batmobile for you.
Yeah.
And then in Spider-Man 1, there was a scene where Michael Keaton drops me off at the school dance and Michael wasn't available. So they needed someone to double Michael. So they got George to just gingerly pull up to the school.
Here we are.
And we've been ripping him for years about how unimpressive that stunt was.
That's pretty good.
This is a film which is kind of interesting if you want to talk about Zeus's law.
Yes.
And the Trojan horse. I love this film.
That's fantastic.
제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김치모 그는 이사촌.
I had the pleasure of watching this with a good friend of mine knowing nothing about it.
Oh, perfect.
I hadn't seen a trailer, I hadn't seen a poster.
Yeah.
And if you know nothing about it, this film floors you.
I knew nothing about it when I saw it. Same thing. And I think sometimes in the American market, particularly with foreign language films, you have a better chance of knowing nothing about it. You know, by the time
right.
the Hollywood movies come out, everybody knows everything about it. You know, and we're desperate. Like with the Odyssey, we try to not put everything in the trailers, but you got to sell the movie. Whereas Parasite, I was able to come to that knowing nothing about it. And then you're just on that ride.
But they do Trojan horse their way in there.
Very much.
Do you prefer to discover films without knowing anything about it, like
oh God,
not seeing a trailer or reading the plot? Like,
I'm not that much of a purist where I wouldn't necessarily want to see the trailer. It's fun both ways. It's fun to watch a film knowing nothing about it. And I think with the films I work on, the marketing campaign becomes part of the film in a way that you're trying to orient people towards a particular way, a particular set of expectations about the film. Obviously, you're trying to build excitement and sell tickets, but you're also trying to give people some kind of creative context for what the film is. I think both things work differently, for different films. It's always a challenge to try and get people excited about something but not show them everything. So in our campaign, like we haven't had anything of Cersei or what's going on there or whatever. You want people to be able to discover things in the film, but obviously there's a lot we have to put out there.
Yeah.
So.
I wish you could have seen my family's faces during that sequence.
Oh, yeah.
There are lots of times at the premiere watching the film where I would just look down the line to see people going absolutely nuts.
Perfect.
What, can I ask you, and this might be giving away something, what are they actually eating?
Stop.
Okay,
Yeah,
later.
Later.
Later. I'm excited.
Give it all away.
This, for me, is an incredibly important movie for me as an actor.
Where is she? I'd like to talk to her. I don't know where she is.
Why is it that I get this feeling you're not telling me something, Aaron?
I'm telling you the truth.
I don't think so.
Because I think that as a young kid, I saw this film with my dad, and Edward Norton's performance has always been something that I'd love to try and achieve one day.
Yeah.
And
don't give it away. You're about to give away for people who
No, of course. No. Yeah. It's great.
It is
it's worth watching.
It is an incredible performance, and it absolutely catapulted Ed Norton into the spotlight.
This is gonna fuck everything up, Marty. Don't you show that to a goddamn person. Do you understand me?
I love this film.
Yeah, it's terrific performance.
What else have we got here? We've got Matt up here.
Oh yeah.
One of my all-time favourites.
What's your name?
I don't know. Oh, God.
I find it impossible to be in Paris and hear a siren and not go, Jason Bourne. I can't do it.
I use a flip phone, and my kids kid me constantly that it's like a Jason Bourne affectation. You know, when I travel and I need a phone, I flip phone. And they always want to take it from me and see, can you actually break it in half the way it does and just drop it?
Love it. I've always loved the Bourne franchise. It's just got such a good, the setup of like the elite assassin who doesn't know he's an elite assassin. Yeah, it's just such a juicy setup for a film.
Knowing Matt, you know, who's so lovely and humorous and just all this warmth, which he is in most of his films actually, and then there's this whole franchise built on him not cracking a smile for 4 movies, whatever it is, 4 films of just dead serious mayhem, and you know, as a serious assassin, and he absolutely pulls it off. I'm asked a lot about casting on films and on this film, and he's like, okay, why Matt Damon to play Odysseus or whatever? And you go, well, you look at the Matt Damon we all know and love from, you know, The Martian, or We Bought a Zoo, or Good Will Hunting. Or he's so accessible, he's the everyman. And then you remember that he plays Jason Bourne, you know, this kind of superhero, iconic assassin. You put those two things together, because that's what you have to have everything for Odysseus. Yeah.
But I guess that's the thing with Odysseus, is that he is so flawed as a character that you need someone that you can root for even when they make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And Matt has that for sure.
You go with him.
Yeah.
You go with him, and as his men are starting to question a few things.
For sure.
How things are going, how the journey's going. It's Matt. He just, you know, you trust him.
Yeah, you really do trust him. Our fearless leader.
I can still save them.
You're a man who needs to control his fate. But you cannot control this.
And I keep casting in films where you play mercilessly against that. You know, Interstellar being the first. You just trust that guy.
You trust him right off the jump. You're like, oh, Matt Damon.
Exactly. Things are going to be okay. It's Matt. Things are going to be fine,
Things are looking up.
Thank you so much for this conversation, you guys.
No,
really
it's fun. Thank you for...
I wish we had more time, but...
thank you for having us. It's very nostalgic. We had a place down the street from us called Moonlight Movies.
Yeah.
We would go every Friday. Mum and Dad would pick one, we would pick one. I miss that.
No, I miss it too. It's brilliant.